No DQ Galaxy. We are live with a recap of Friday Night Smackdown for December the 2nd, 2022. I would like to give a special shout out to the early birds, Stefan, John Jackson, Michael Wayne, Darren G, who used the hashtag DMartin5th, Godspeed, Eric, CC Drink, Ryan Dempsey, Don Boeing. Thank you all for tuning in right away. If you guys want a special shout out, make sure you tune in right off the bat. You need to be in right at the start of the live stream. But nonetheless, thank you all for your viewership, whether you're watching live or on demand. It's much appreciated. Now, let's get into SmackDown. We had a video package recapping the men's War Games match. We then had the Bloodline minus Roman Reigns because, well, Survivor Series is over. Royal Rumble is in 8 weeks, whatever it is. So no need for Roman anytime soon. Bloodline minus Roman Reigns. And to me, this was an unnecessary promo. We already had Sami Zayn out there with the Bloodline. They just celebrated their win, said their catchphrases. Really did not need to happen, but they were out there filling time. They did the three-way handshake, and then Sheamus arrived, and that led to our first match of the evening, Zayn versus Sheamus. We had a standoff early on between the Bloodline and the Brawling Brutes. Sheamus got distracted. Sami Zayn took advantage for a while. Sami made the mistake of trying to do Sheamus's 10 beats. That just got Sheamus fired up, and Sheamus put on the cloverleaf submission. Zayn got to the rope, and then Zayn managed to hit a dive over the top rope to Sheamus, and he continued to get in some offense. He had a sunset flip power bomb, but Sheamus kicked out. Sheamus avoided the haluva kick, hit the white noise, but Sami Zayn kicked out. And then Sheamus hit 20 beats to Sami Zayn. Sheamus was getting some boos, by the way. I noticed kids in the ringside area booing Sheamus. Just shows you how over Sami Zayn is with the Bloodline right now. Jimmy Uso got on the apron, took a cheap shot. Sami Zayn hit the Blue Thunder Bomb and got the 1-2-3 victory. No, you guys never buy it. I keep trying anyways. One of these days, somebody will say, what? He won with the Blue Thunder Bomb? Will never happen. Yes, Sheamus kicked out of the Blue Thunder Bomb. Brawling Brutes attacked the Usos, but then Solo Sikoa got involved, and the Brawling Brutes were overwhelmed. And back in the ring, Jey Uso hit Sheamus with a super kick, and Sami Zayn was able to pick up the 1-2-3 victory over Sheamus. Match was good. I think I would have preferred if they had just skipped the opening promo segment and went straight to the match. Just my own personal opinion. Building Nexus with a $5 super chat. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Says, is the Bloodline stuff starting to overshadow everything else in WWE? Well, it has definitely been the highlight of the WWE shows. Sami Zayn feeling Usi, Sami Uso. It's really caught on. And now people are talking about, should Sami Zayn somehow beat Roman Reigns? And Sami Zayn is winning the poll right now for 2022 Superstar of the Year. By the way, you can vote over at nodq.com/features for the Superstar of the Year, male and female, as well as Tag Team of the Year. More polls will be going up throughout the month of December. We had a Legado del Fantasma vignette to hype up the World Cup final, which was the main event match. They were dressed up, playing poker, playing pool. They were smoking cigars, drinking, talking about how Ricochet's fairy tale is coming to its final chapter. By the way, speaking of poker games, I guess JBL and Baron Corbin are doing a poker game on Raw. I wonder if Duke Hudson, is he the one that was doing the poker matches on NXT? Doing the poker games, I should say. I wonder if they'll have him make a cameo on the show since he was the poker guy. Whoever the poker guy was in NXT. Chat room, let me know. We had Kofi Kingston backstage being interviewed, and he is declaring himself for the Royal Rumble. He is the first one. We always have somebody declaring himself into the Royal Rumble. And you had Imperium interrupting. Kofi Kingston said Xavier Woods was not there, but he was willing to do a singles match against anyone from Imperium. But of course, Gunther was the one that accepted Kofi Kingston's challenge. Not quite what Kofi was expecting. He thought he was getting Ludwig Kaiser or Giovanni Vinci. We had Bray Wyatt backstage, and this was his only appearance on the show. He was rambling about animals, how they have to do whatever it takes to survive. But with that being said, he was not the one that hurt LA Knight. And he said that if he was the one to hurt LA Knight, there would have been none of LA Knight left. I said this last week. I'm enjoying the storyline with LA Knight, but they're moving Bray Wyatt along at a snail's pace, and I really just want to see him in a match already and see if he's worth all the hype. They've been keeping him out of the ring for a while, kind of like what they were doing with Dexter Lumis. And Dexter Lumis's match, it was fine, but didn't exactly light the world on fire. We had a Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler video package, and just like Roman Reigns, Ronda Rousey doesn't need to be on the show right now. It's December. It's lame duck season, so she was not on. Baszler was there all by herself against Emma. Emma had Madcap Moss backstage giving her a little pep talk. She was upset because the competition is tough, maybe tougher than she expected coming back. He called her a trailblazer, said that the revolution would not have happened without her. I like Emma, but I'm not so sure I would agree with that. I mean, she was around when the revolution started, but she wasn't exactly the big factor in the women getting a better position on television. I would say AJ Lee was the biggest factor, followed by Paige, and then this might be controversial, but I would say the Bella twins probably had a bigger role in getting the women more television time. But you know what? That's a whole other debate, discussion. So let's get back to SmackDown. And she did kiss Madcap Moss on the cheek, building up this little real-life romance turned into storyline. We had Emma versus Shayna Baszler. Baszler was targeting the arm. Emma did make a comeback, but in the end, she could not put away Shayna. She had a neck breaker off the second rope. Shayna kicked out. She busted out Tajiri's tarantula. Was not enough. Shayna picked up the win with the Kira Fuda clutch and then continued the beatdown after the match. Shotzi made the save, but she got taken down by Shayna. And then Raquel made her appearance. She had a brace on, but she came down and Shayna decided 3-on-1 to bail, leave the ring, and that was that. So I guess the positive is that Shayna looked pretty strong here. Emma, they're doing the thing with Madcap Moss. We'll see where that goes, but feels like Emma is basically enhancement talent at this point. Maybe they'll face Karrion Kross and Scarlett, although does anybody really think that they have any chance against Kross and Scarlett? We had a Lacey Evans vignette. They are rebooting her again. Another attempt to repackage her. She's being repackaged, drum roll, as a Marine. She's doing basic training, getting back to the basics. I could have sworn 6 months ago they were making this big deal about her being a Marine, and now they're doing it again. She's going to be a babyface again. What is going on here? Like, really? Does anybody really care about Lacey Evans at this stage of the game? And they're just doing a repackaging of what she already was before they turned her heel. So whatever. I'm just rolling my eyes at this one. How about putting her in a tag team? I agree with Jose Garza. They need to build up the women's tag team division more. Lacey should be in a tag team at this point. Find somebody for her to team up with and make an all-American tag team or something like that. But she should be in a tag team. We had a Ricochet video package to hype up the World Cup main event on SmackDown. We then had Gunther, the Ring General, versus Kofi Kingston, former WWE champion. And to be fair to WWE, they did not treat Kofi like a scrub. He held his own in this match. He was dominated for a good portion, but then he sent Gunther to the outside. However, he got tripped by Ludwig Kaiser. Braun Strowman ran down to even the odds. He took out Imperium, so it was one-on-one. Kofi hit the SOS to Gunther. Gunther kicked out. Kofi Kingston came off the top, but Gunther caught him with a chop. And then Gunther hit the power bomb. 1-2 kick out. Kofi Kingston kicked out of the power bomb. And the announcers made a big deal out of this. Gunther had to bust out a new move. Michael Wayne said it's the Emerald Flosion. I guess it's kind of like a power slam, sort of. It's called the Last Symphony. And I presume it's the new finisher for Gunther, and that's why they did the powerbomb kick out. Maybe WWE writers, Triple H, somebody thought that the powerbomb was too basic of a finisher, and you got Braun Strowman doing a powerbomb. So they changed up Gunther's finisher, and Gunther got the win over a very game Kofi Kingston, which is fine because Kofi was a former WWE champion, and he should not be any kind of a pushover, right? Theoretically, that's how it should be. Backstage, we had the Usos chatting it up. Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa left, so it was just the Usos, and that's when Sheamus decided to take a little bit of a cheap shot to the Usos to get some payback from earlier. He laid them out with the shillelagh and said that him and Drew McIntyre will be waiting for them, which is all fine and dandy, but it more or less, not that we expected a title change on Monday, but I think this pretty much gives away the finish for Monday. You got Riddle and Elias going for the tag team titles. And, well, I mean, we all knew that there was not going to be a title change, but yeah, even more so now with Drew McIntyre and Sheamus pretty much being teased as future challengers for the Usos. We had Damage Control come into the ring for a promo. We had another recap, this time for the Women's War Games match, and Bayley said, forget about Becky Lynch. There's nobody on the SmackDown locker room that has the guts to face them. But you know what? There was somebody. Watch her. Liv Morgan. She showed up and she was ready to fight. She got in to the ring, took out Dakota Kai and Io Sky, started punching away at Bayley, but the numbers game did catch up with her. But then Surprise return. Tegan Nox is back. Now, she was rumored for a while. I said this right when Triple H came back and there was talk about all these people being brought back. I'm like, Tegan Nox was a Triple H gal. She was a focal point of NXT. And I figured once her visa issues were resolved, she would end up back in WWE. And sure enough, she is back. Surprise, but not so much of a surprise. I did expect her back at some point. And she came out there. Her pants were all ripped up and falling apart, but Liv Morgan got a kendo stick. And despite it being 2-on-3, they were able to clear the ring. And yeah, Tegan Nox is back, and we got a tag team, which is good. Definitely nice to see some tag teams being built up. And for those of you that watched NXT, Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai have quite the history. So it'll be interesting to see them go at it on the main roster. Cool to see her back. And we had a karrion kross vignette. And Scarlett had some tarot cards, and one of them was the Emperor, and it was a picture of Rey Mysterio. Poor Rey. He gets attacked by Dominic in his own home on Thanksgiving, and now karrion kross is basically marking him for death. Caleb Jacobs with a $2.57 super chat. Thank you for that, Caleb. Says, perfect payback for Tegan Nox. Take the tag team titles. Well, I don't think that Liv and Tegan are winning the tag team titles. I really don't think they should, at least, because we just saw Damage Control regain the titles. Let somebody have a good run. But yes, we should see some teams built up and get them ready for the big time. Jose Garza says Shotzi and Tegan Nox are still the number one contenders for the women's tag team titles. Yeah, you may be right on that. I mean, we did see a lot of people released very abruptly last year, and Tegan Nox was one of them when her and Shotzi were being paired up as a tag team. But Shotzi's got some other help. She's got Raquel, and she can find somebody else. Maybe Aaliyah as a teammate. We had our main event, the World Cup Finals. Santos Escobar versus Ricochet. Ricochet, a guy who lost to Gunther, has another opportunity potentially to get to Gunther if he won this match. Zelina Vega was on commentary, and Legado del Fantasma was interfering, and referee had enough of it, so he sent them packing, and Zelina Vega was on commentary, but she also got kicked out. So it was down to one-on-one. Very back and forth competitive match here. Long match. They got a good amount of time on SmackDown. And Santos hit this Hurricane Rana to Ricochet on the outside of the ring off the barricade. Got some holy shit chants, although they got bleeped out, censored. Can't have profanity on FS1. And then both of them were in the ring on the top rope. Santos went for another Hurricane Rana, but Ricochet landed on his feet. And then Ricochet got some momentum built up. He went for the shooting star press, but Santos got his knees up. 1-2 kick out. Ricochet's still in it. Ricochet countered the Phantom Driver. However, Santos was able to hit a reverse Hurricane Rana. Ricochet kicked out of that, and then Ricochet hit several kicks, got Santos down again, and then went up to the top, hit a 630, and picked up the 1-2-3 victory. Great match here to end the show. Ricochet wins, and spoiler alert, don't think he's beating Gunther, but they're giving him a bit of a push. Ricochet got a nice moment here, and Santos is fine in defeat. He'll move on from this. So yeah, very strong ending to the show. Although I have to say that up until the last 40 minutes or so, I was feeling a little underwhelmed by SmackDown. It was on FS1 this week, and the numbers are usually half of what they usually are on FS1. So No Roman Reigns, no Ronda Rousey, even though she hasn't been really lighting the world on fire. Just felt like more of a filler SmackDown. But Tegan Nox did return, and the main event was pretty awesome. So that helped pick up the show and made it a little bit better than your run-of-the-mill SmackDown. Caleb Jacob sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that, Caleb. Says, I love the new Ricochet push. I agree. I'm happy for the guy because for the longest time, he really was not getting a chance to live up to his full potential. I give the show a B-. I think it was, for the most part, a skippable SmackDown. Even the Bloodline stuff, like I said, the promo was a rehash of what they already said on Raw. Wasn't necessary. Match with Sheamus was good. But, kind of just felt like time filler. Really, it was the main event and Tegan Nox's return, I think, that stole the show. And as far as what does Kofi have for the Royal Rumble, what does he have planned? Hopefully he doesn't botch it, because that was very sad when he botched the big spot at the Royal Rumble after so many years of having these great moments. He finally biffed it, and I'm hopeful that this coming year he can make up for it. And that was SmackDown, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the recap. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up on YouTube. It is very much appreciated. And stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the latest news and rumors. And make sure you vote. Year-end awards. We have several polls up already. More to come. NoDQ.com/features is where you can find all the polls. And tell a friend. Keep spreading the word. And remember, say yes to NoDQ.com. And I will see you all next time.